Hi folks, in keeping with the upgrades to the R32 from a light bulb point of view, I'm moving on to the interior bulbs, which as mentioned are all LED bulbs. So this video is going to cover doing a few of the interior lights, and just to give you a quick overview, these bulbs are going to be starting from left to right. These are the front ceiling light and vanity mirrors, or sun visors. That's that first set. The next set is going to be the trunk or the boot there. These two are the two footwell lights at the front, and these 5 LEDs are the ceiling lights, and I think there's 2 at the front and 3 at the rear. And then this one is the glovebox LED. So let's get the camera set up a bit properly and start into probably the trunk light first of all, or the boot light. Okay, starting into this boot light here, quick screwdriver, or if you have a very thin pry tool, the plastic pry tools. I'm going in from the outside in towards the front of the car, pushing in. That releases the clip, or hopefully does, and that is the light released. So let's stretch this down and disconnect the wiring here. There we go, that's it disconnected. You can see the bulb there. So let's tweak this bulb out and get it replaced. Just had a wee look at the bulb and how to release it. You'll see at one side the metal contacts, there's openings for the bulb to slide out of the holder. So using a small amount of force, you'll see the bulb just falls out like so. And there's the new LED bulb there, and I'm going to start this side there and feel to pop it in. It's a bit fiddly. We'll start it again here. Okay, lining everything up there now. I'm just lining it all up. That's a bulb in, and being the LED, you'll see it is directional there, so I need to rotate this round a wee bit, like so, and that's the bulb rotated down. So I'll attach this back into the wiring connector up here, and the timers possibly went out on the bulb now. So I may need to close and open the boot here. Just set that in. I'll do the needful here and close over the boot. There we go. You can see that's the first LED in, no problem at all. And you can see there's no strobing. The cheaper LEDs do tend to strobe or pulse on and off constantly. You can see that's obviously not a problem here. It's one of the advantages of getting the good quality LEDs. So time to move on to the main sort of inside of the car and get them replaced. Okay folks, you can pretty obviously see the footwell light in the driver's side. You obviously see the pedals and stuff there. To get this out, I believe you have to take out this panel here. I don't see any big problem with this, a few torque screws on it. You can also see the OBD port there on the right hand side. Hopefully the cables are long enough to allow me to flip this down and get into the bulb without disconnecting a load of things. But anyway, getting quickly moved on using a T20 Torx bit. Time to release these screws and get this panel out of the way. Okay, this one. Thanks. Empty. There we go, folks, there's a wee clip just up here. I will hopefully show you. That clip there, folks, was providing the difficulty, so with that sort of popped out, that allowed me to drop this lid down. As you'll see if I move the camera back here, I took out the sort of secondary sort of glove box thing for just beneath the sort of light switch panel, and that allowed me just to sort of see what was holding the panel in place. And you basically just push the sides of it in, allow it to drop down and pull it out, and that gives access into this. So I should be able to pop this bulb holder out here, and there seems to be a plastic clip at this side. That out. That's the bulb holder there. Sorry for the awkward camera angle, it's a bit tight here, but that's the bulb holder, as I said, out. So let's see if we can pop this apart and get the bulb in it. Okay, finally got there with getting this bulb holder apart. In short, this little metal housing has loads of tabs on it, and you can see they're slightly bent out of shape. Using a small fine screwdriver there, I sat and pried away at these tabs to open them up a bit, and you'll see then the metal housing starts to come off the plastic clear housing there, and with levering it off it pops off just in that sort of direction there. Anyway, that's released it, and I can see the bulb there, so I'm going to lever out this bulb and replace it with the LED one. There we go, that's the bulb out. And grab the LED and slide the LED in. It's more difficult with the camera away. There we go, finally got it in with a bit of fiddling. I'll pop this cap, the metal cap there, back on and test it before I plug everything back in, make sure it's all working okay. And obviously close over the door and open it again just to be sure the timer will kick in on your lights. There we go. You've hopefully seen that kick in there, so that is the bulb working. So time to start clipping everything back together and go from there. Okay, you'll see that's the cover set in place. Remember your torque screws, get them put back in. that's them all attached there. So time to do the same bulb on the passenger side. Hopefully there's a bit more clearance in it, but we'll soon find out. Okay folks, you'll see that's obviously the passenger side light there. What I'm going to try and see if I can remove just this bit of foam and get into the light there and pop it out, and hopefully I don't have to remove this whole big plastic housing in the glove box, etc. Let's find out. And if you need a little detailed video of how to remove this bit of foam, this is how you would get into your pollen filter or cabin filter. I have a detailed video on that, which I'll hopefully put the link up for. But you could probably see just 2 screws to get in, and hopefully we have access here to get this clip out. So I'll try and fiddle with that and see what I can do here. You see, I've got the loose light, or the light loose here folks. That was a bit easier than I thought it was going to be. The wiring connector is quite tight there, whatever it's being caught on. So I'll see if I can unravel some wires here, whatever it might be getting caught on. Okay, that's the light unit out anyway. I should be able to connect that back in. So same thing with this, pry up the metal clips, take it apart and reinstall the bulb. You see that's the housing just about to come apart there, and using the screwdriver pop the bulb out like so, and get the LED bulb. And install it as best I can. There we go. That was a bit quicker than the last time. Practice makes perfect and all that. So that's the bulb in. Put this housing back together. Push these tabs all in. It's probably a better idea maybe to close over those tabs a wee bit before you put it all back together. Anyway, let's get this wiring plug back in. And do the usual, I'll close over the door and test to see if this is working. If you got concerned there like I did that the bulbs weren't working, you may need to lock and unlock your car again and you'll find both bulbs come back on. So that's it, clipped in, back up, out of the way. Get the bit of foam now and put it in. It's a very easy job. Okay, TV back on. Like so. Time to move on to the next bulb. Okay, while I'm roughly in the area, let's have a go at the glove box light. I can get clearance into it. Okay, that's it out. Undo the wiring clip. And there we go. It's the same setup as the two footwell lights in terms of it seems like you have to open up this metal housing, bend the clips out of the way to get into the bulb. So I'll do that now. And just to show you the bulb holder and bits here, it is exactly the same as the footwell lights. There's the bulb, shake that out and get the LED, and for whatever reason it's a slightly different LED in this one. You'll see that's the LED there. It's a slightly different shape. And try and plug this in. There we go. That one was a bit easier as well. Might have been a wee bit off camera there, but you'll see that's the LED plugged in. So put the housings all back together, and as I mentioned in the last one, bend all your wee clips in before you put it back together. It gives it a better hold. And line this all up. There we go, good solid click. Time to open up the glove box, connect the wiring in and make sure everything works. There we go, easy peasy. You can see that's the LED lit. So let's pop everything back in. There we go, job done. Okay, you'll see I'm at the vanity mirrors. This is at the passenger side, just above your sun visor, and you'll see the plastic housing has been removed from the bulb exposing it. Unfortunately, the wee clear lens come off in bits there, come off in 3 bits. You can see some of the remains of it there. So anyway, I'll at least get the bulb replaced and see if I can find a replacement wee lens cover for that, and I will go from there, but I'll at least get the bulb out and replaced. And you'll see very easily the old bulb just levered out using my plastic trim tool there. That just popped out. Time to chuck the LED in, and there we go folks, that is the bulb in there for the mirrors. What I did find is it's quite actually difficult to get the bulb in because it's so far up inside the housing. So I used a set of pliers at the side of the circuit board, approximately in like so, held the side of it and just pushed it up with the pliers. It makes life that wee bit easier. So that's hopefully a wee top tip for you. So anyway, I'll move over to the driver's side vanity mirror and hopefully it all comes off in one piece. Okay, firstly apologies for the shaky camera work here, but what I have discovered is for these vanity mirrors you should actually try to pop the whole housing down as opposed to just exposing the lens, and you'll see me coming in doing that with the plastic tool, and you'll see at that side there's a wee divot in there where that metal clip is, so that identifies the side where you should pry the tool in. So that's popped that down and given me very easy access into the bulb. Obviously with that lens broken, I'll have to see if I could find another one of these housings somewhere, maybe a used one on eBay or something like that. But anyway, I'll have a go at popping the bulb out here, which should be very straightforward, and pop the new one back in. And you'll see that's the bulb already installed there. Let's test. You'll see the light isn't coming on. These bulbs are commonly polarized there, so what you end up doing is swapping them round, the sides round each way, so that'll hopefully do the trick there. I'll try that. But that's obviously the way to get in access into the vanity mirror bulbs there, and that even makes the install of the bulb much easier because you have that bit more access. And swap the bulb around and you can see that's the vanity mirror working fine there. I've swapped the bulb round, so let's test, and there we go, that's a vanity mirror working okay. I've swapped the bulb round, so let's test the vanity mirror, and there we go, working a-okay. So yeah, simple as that. Pop the housing back in, click, dead easy. Shame, if only I thought about how to get this out. Shame I broke the other one, but oh well, that's life. The next job is going to be these front LED lights that sit in the centre. You can see the rear view mirror, sunglasses holder, etc. there. So using my tool I will try to catch this plastic lens and pop it out. That's the plastic lens cover off. Interestingly, just kept trying to work it with the plastic trim tool and eventually caught a corner and it popped off with quite a bit of force, flung to the other side of the car, so I'm semi glad I wasn't videoing that. That's the cover off there. You can see the wee tabs and there's a wee ledge where you can catch your trim tool on around there. So looking up at the bulbs, you will see that's one of the bulbs removed there, and you'll see that's the bulb there, and there's the LED version beside it. Again, like most of these LED bulbs, they are polarized, so you might need to put this in. If it doesn't work, swap it around. So let's try pushing this jobby in. And you can see that is the first bulb in, and there's a comparison to the yellow of the original bulb. And I did find this bulb needed to be swapped around from a polarity point of view, but quite a straightforward thing as well. Time to get this other bulb done. And there we go folks, that's both LEDs in. So time now to pop in the lens cover. It should be quite straightforward. Go. Took a bit of messing around. Seemed to be you need to get the back, this side, in here first. Once it clips in, it goes above the level of the black plastic there, and pop in the front. Job done. Now time to move over to the rear of the car. Okay, you'll see I'm in the rear of the car here. So I can actually have room for the tripod, so I should be able to get some nice clear video shots for you. Anyway, looking at this rear light housing, you can pop it up just by your hands, not needing any fancy tools, and that exposes the three bulbs there. I found in my cover there was a few flies managed to get in, so I'll be able to clear them out just by blowing a bit, and that clears the housing up a wee bit as well. So you can see the bulbs are lit at present, so I'll close over the door, pop out the bulbs, and hopefully everything works okay that way. One quicker option is maybe just to turn your lights off at the button and switch at the front of the car. So we've got loads of room here. We can quickly just grab the bulb and pull down like so, and the bulbs was in that position there, if that makes sense. So that's front of the car and back of the car, just to get your orientation right. LED in hand there, and if I can line this up, that's one. You can see that's working okay. That was a quick test. On to this one, and that's the same orientation, going that way to that way, and pop the bulb in. And that centre bulb is probably going to be controlled by the main light, so it'll only come on whenever your doors are opened or you have your lights on. So let's test it. You can see that's working fine. Okay, that's a third bulb, and it's working as well, which is good to see. Didn't get the poles mixed up in any of those. So let's try the main button and make sure these are all working. Yep, you can see they're all lit and running fine. Time to grab my cover and install it back on. That's going to go on like so. You can see the cutouts for the buttons there, so you can't really go wrong. That's it, all clipped back up into place like so. Dead easy. You can see that's a nice wee simple mod. It'll look much better in the dark, obviously, when you get the effect of the LEDs, but it's always a nice wee mod that takes a few years off the car, makes it look that bit sharper and modern. But yeah, no big hassles doing that job at all. Even with doing the video work as well, that's probably taken me a little under an hour to do that. The only issue, as you've seen, I found was with the vanity mirror light, where I just obviously didn't really know what I was doing, so I was trying to pry off the clear lens bit, which obviously shattered. So just watch out for that. Go for try and get the whole housing out. So anyway, hopefully that video was of use to you folks, and as always, please feel free to like, share and subscribe to the video. That would be of big help. Cheers folks, all the best, bye.